This morning, O.J. Simpson sits in a Las Vegas jail facing life in prison after Friday's conviction on 12 counts in a kidnapping and armed robbery case. For the jurors, it was a matter of justice, while for others, it was justice delayed. CBS News correspondent Bill Whitaker has more.
Count 1, conspiracy to commit a crime. Guilty. Count 2.
Jurors in the O.J. Simpson case say it was the tape recordings that sealed O.J.'s fate.
Every piece of evidence we found was strictly off the recordings and the video.
The former football great was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping after he and 5 others stormed into a Vegas hotel room, waved weapons, and nabbed sports memorabilia.
You can steal my so don't let nobody out of here.
It was very clear that O.J. said, don't let anyone out of this room. That right there is kidnapping.
The guilty verdict came 13 years to the day after Simpson was acquitted of the murders of his wife Nicole and her friend Ron Goldman. But was it payback?
The California murder case was like an umbrella over this whole trial from beginning to end.
You guys all witnessed a public lynching. I don't know if you realize that.
But jurors dispute those claims.
We've been painted as an all-white jury that hates O.J., and that's just not true.
So for them to tie in that there were too many women on the jury or we weren't the right color is really insulting.
Race was clearly a part of the double murder trial, one of the most sensational of the 20th century. It was a national Rorschach test interpreted in black and white. Marcia Clark was the prosecutor then.
Finally, justice was done. He does belong in prison. He is now in prison. And there's a sense of fairness to that.
After the first O.J. trial, the country shrieked. This time, it merely shrugged.
If you play with fire long enough, you're going to get burned.
Let him do the time. I'm tired of hearing about him.
Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And they're both joining us now is one of the men who was in the hotel room with Simpson, Thomas Riccio, a collectibles broker. He's the author of the book Busted, which details the events during the robbery. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are responsible for bringing O.J. Simpson to that hotel room. What's your reaction to the guilty verdicts?
I helped O.J. to try to get his stuff back. It was actually his plan, so I was in on it, though. And my reaction, for a long time, I didn't know the final pieces about what happened in the case, because I didn't know who knew about the guns and all that kind of stuff. And after I found out the whole thing, after I testified, when Walter Alexander basically admitted that they had a spy camera on them, basically to commit an armed robbery, with O.J. there, and O.J. just thought that they had somebody as security and they committed an armed robbery. I didn't know that they were going to, have guilty on all these different counts. I didn't think it was fair.
So you don't think justice was served with these guilty verdicts?
I think it was overkill. I really do. I know O.J.'s intent wasn't to rob somebody. O.J.'s intent was to get his stuff back. And there's another man, too, that didn't even know there was going to be guns there, and he's facing double life also. I think O.J. lied about not knowing about the guns. He knew the guns were going to be there, but he didn't know these guys were going to commit an armed robbery. And I just think it's overkill. I think there's just a lot of time now. He's facing a lot of charges here. But people wanted them for a lot of years, and I guess they got them.
Thomas Riccio, thank you.